If you think you're going to get a franchise out of this, no.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to another episode of Unhinged Boys Movie Reviews.
Yeah.
And today, we've got a short and sweet one for you.
Yeah.
It's called Hard Eyes.
Hard Eyes.
Yeah, the I guess basically Valentine horror movie.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
And this basically we're going to talk about the plot, which was going to be short because we walked halfway out through the movie.
Yeah, no, we
Spoiler
left.
alert.
So if that's an indication of where this review's going in our opinion on the movie, well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and then we're going to give our ratings and the things we liked. So, basically, the movie starts off...
It's a Sony movie.
Yeah, it's a Sony movie. And
So
first
you know
off,
what to expect.
this movie is like kind of a combination of a rom-com and a horror movie.
It doesn't know what it wants to be.
But it's more of a rom-com than anything, because like halfway through, I was just like, I got like a weird feeling. I was like,
Your
I don't think we
girlfriend
should
ain't
be
gonna...
here.
Your girlfriend is not going to enjoy this movie, and honestly, I don't think you are.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think this movie's meant for me and you, Jared. Like, I don't think this is...
I felt weird halfway through, like, watching this. I was like, this feels like we're watching, like, we walked into the theater, just the two of us, to watch, like, Mean Girls or something.
Yeah, like some weird...
This does
comedy.
not feel like this is for us.
But anyway, basically the movie starts off, and they're like, it's in like this weird, like, field or like winery or whatever.
Yeah.
And basically there's a wedding going on there, and there's these two couples. They're getting married. It's so beautiful. There's music in the air, and then all of a sudden they mess up the thing, and then they're like, hey.
Can we redo this?
They're like, can we redo this? Like, what is going on?
Because he put the ring in the food, and she's like, I told you not to do that. Like,
yeah, and then things mess up. He's like getting a call from like the guy who's supposed to take a picture. He's like, I couldn't do it. It looked blurred.
There was a sun glare.
He's like, do it again.
So he gets like, Hard Eye shows up, and he gets like, for some reason, this doesn't fit the bill at all of the Hard Eyes killer, but he kills the camera guy.
Yeah.
So there's just no rules in this movie, apparently.
Yeah, and
with the machete through the camera, I don't even know how that works. But and then the next kill is the
like a
fiance.
It's a crossbow.
Yeah, and he turns around, he's got an arrow in the head, and it looks like trash.
Just like, ooh, my head.
I turned to him and I was like, I really think that this is going to be a bad experience.
And he was right. And then basically the bride...
She gets juiced.
Yeah, the bride-to-be just gets juiced in a juicer.
Yeah, in a wine juicer.
In a wine juicer. And
then we go to our main character.
Yeah, a main character.
That was also in a good old movie that is on our Patreon.
Anyway, yeah, we go into our main character, who is a woman who we did not learn the name of.
Nope, because I didn't care to.
We did not care. And she is basically a marketing person.
Yeah.
Who's marketing
and
stuff
she just
for,
got
like,
broken up with.
Line. Yeah. And she got broken up with and everything, and they'll like, and her job told her to like do this commercial, and basically they look at the commercial and it's just basically like a bunch of people dying, like the Titanic and Romeo and Juliet. It's really graphic.
And then her boss is just like threatening her or
like,
whatever.
Whose idea was this? It's like, you said it was cool. It's like, well, not I don't like it anymore because it messed up.
But like, she literally threatened her, and I was like, I feel like that's kind of illegal. Like, not even kind of, it is. Yeah, no, then we meet the guy character.
Oh yeah, I forgot before, there was like this one scene where like the main character and this dude meet.
Yeah.
And
I don't know his name.
Yeah, she basically breaks the guy's nose.
But he was in Scream.
Yeah, they're like getting coffee, and he breaks his nose, and then he's like, "Oh man, I messed up with that guy. He could have been the one."
And then
it turns out he's there to take her job or help her with her job.
Yeah.
But he's there for only a day.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what that's supposed to be. And anyway, he's just like, "Hey, let's go out to dinner and talk about this."
I mean, she did break his nose. But I mean, I guess he's being nice or whatever. But
she did it by accident. She literally just she bent down and did this shit and just broke his nose with her head, which is like, all right, a hard head.
But yeah, no, she just shuts him down. She is a asshole in this movie.
Cause they go to dinner and he's pulling all the stops. He's getting all these people to play music and shit, and he's got all the food and drinks, and and she's like, "No, go away. My job is on the line."
She doesn't just say that. She says some other stuff that I'm like, okay, that you didn't need to go that far. You could have. I don't remember what she said.
Anyway, we keep going. They end up, I guess, end up going out and I think having a fun time.
Well, she kisses him because once she walks out of the restaurant, he walks out. She goes after him, and then her ex walks up and she just kisses the guy, and she's like, "Yeah, this is my boyfriend."
Yeah, and then they, I guess, they decide to hang out with each other a little longer.
Yeah.
And it slowly goes to them going to her house.
But they're in a taxi that's got a bunch of hearts in it, and I'm like, I don't think taxis do this at all. But they're talking, they're going back to her house. She locks herself out of the house, and the guy's just like, no, let me break your door window, whatever, let you in.
Yeah, and then he does it, and he actually.
And he's just like, see, not so bad. Ow!
He gets glass in his hand.
That was kind of funny, but
and then it comes to the last part, next part, which is actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
I busted out laughing. They basically go to her room. She fixes him up, and then they're about to make out, and then she sees a dildo on her.
And she opens up her closet.
No, I can't let him see this dildo. And she goes to her closet, and she's about to put it in there.
Hard Eyes is standing right
there. And
he's
just there. He shows up. He's like, "Hey!" And then he just throws the dildo.
She throws the dildo at his head, and he seems shocked. He's like, "What?
What?" And then they get chased or whatever the fuck. It basically, the whole chase scene basically ends with them
the Hard Eyes killer framing the guy because he got knocked out, and she just kind of took off.
Yeah, she said screw him and left, and then she doubles back, and the cops are there and literally arrest him.
The Hard Eyes killer put the knife or crossbow or something on him in the mask, and
yeah, we found this in his bag or whatever the fuck, and
then we do an interrogation scene, even though she's not being interrogated at all.
Yeah, by the way, there's two cops in this, two really terrible cops in this movie who are pretty bad at their job.
Yeah,
I would think. There's one who's a dude who's hitting on the girl cop, and the other girl cop's like, "I want to
go out with
a bunch of guys on Tinder or whatever."
Yeah.
And then the girl cop's interrogating the one dude,
and he's just like, "So I didn't do it. There was no proof."
And then she just hits the girl cop just hits on him for no reason, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and he's just like,
it's there's people watching you,
and the guy's just kind of just ignoring her, kind of, from what I could tell. But Hard Eyes shows up, turns off the power.
Yeah, and he just starts slicing and dicing.
Not really, but
I can't remember what happens. He does something.
Yeah, this is like it's not too long after this before like the movie's basically over anyway.
I don't know. They basically get chased to like let's just skip. They just chased to a carnival. Like
wait, real quick. The detective when like the one guy was like, "All right, so you should let me out because the hard eye killer is here." He's like, "Yeah, you sit tight." And
I got this, and he acts like a badass cop.
He literally goes 2 feet, turns the corner, has a handgun, is looking at the hard eyes killer.
He goes,
for like half a minute, and then gets stabbed in like the
areas.
The areas. And that's how he dies. And then we just jump to them,
getting chased.
Yeah.
I guess they run to like this Valentine's Day carnival or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's that thing going on. And then there's this scene basically where they get trapped in a car.
They just find a random car and get in it.
Yeah, they're just...
And this is where that one kill comes in where, like you see in the trailers, like the
violent...
Yeah.
Like, tire iron kill. Anyway, they're like having like a heart-to-heart while like there's a couple in the back.
Just a bunch of... Just hippies, I guess.
Doing stuff. And you can hear them doing stuff. And you can also hear Art Eyes just murdering people.
So...
And they're just like, I'm sorry that I was a butthole the whole time, but I just didn't know how to move on from my last relationship. And he's like, oh, that's fine. I had to leave. I shouldn't have tried to do something with you so quick. Or whatever the fuck. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all right, let's leave. And then and then the hard eyes killer like
opens up the
trunk.
Yeah.
And then like kills the guy and then kills the girl that are like messing around in the back. And then they get out, the two main characters.
And then people like you can hear Hard Eyes just like slashing people, I guess. I couldn't really hear it.
Yeah, but then as soon as they get out of the car, everybody runs away as if they just weren't all getting murdered.
Yeah. And so, like, this is the part that I just had enough of this movie. They get out of the car and they're like, they start running away and they're like, wait, we brought him here like he's a creature.
Yeah, the girl main character's like,
we have to be the ones to stop him. And then they grab hands, and then it's a slow-mo kind of thing.
Where they're running towards they're like, we're gonna fight him. And then they just like, the one guy tackles him, and then they hit him in the head with a paint can, and then like he just turns around and grabs the girl. And then that's when we left.
Yeah,
I looked up on YouTube that basically the girl detective or whatever, the reason why I didn't see her die is because she was actually the killer.
It was
not just, but it wasn't just her, because it turns out
it was like an IT guy that was also at the police station.
Yeah, that like asked out the girl main character. We didn't mention that.
We didn't mention that because it really isn't important.
Because he just shows up out of nowhere. She's like, hey, he's like, hey, you want to go out? And she's like, no. And he's like, okay, and then walks away.
This movie was not good. Mind you, I'm pretty like. He watched the Cena review or whatever.
Yeah, because like apparently. They kill him there at that point.
But
they kill the Art Eyes killer, but then they lift the mask and like, who is this guy? And then they don't know who it is. They don't know who he is. They're just like, who is he? And then I guess later on it's revealed that like it turns out there was like a whole like fetish thing that like a couple, like a poly couple wanted to do, and for some reason they were doing this for 2 years, and she was a cop and he was an IT guy for the cops, and the other guy was a random dude. Somehow they were doing that. I don't know.
So the Hard Eyes killer, not cool. This movie didn't work. Don't know who it worked for. Don't know who it's for.
Yeah, and basically at the end, the movie just ends with them getting together, the two main characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you think you're gonna get a franchise out of this, no.
No. What do we liked? Not much.
But I do want to bring this up. She keeps bringing this metal straw
around,
and she keeps showing it off, and you already know the metal straw is going to be used to stop one of the killers.
Like, what is the point of that? It's like, where do you carry that?
Who the fuck carries around a metal straw?
Like, in your purse? Like, you're gonna get glitter and shit all over.
Or, like,
and,
rust.
Like, makeup and... when you're in...
I can understand a plastic, but a metal straw...
Like, I don't understand. You're gonna get, like, a bunch of stuff all over and dust, and you're just gonna drink something and get all dust in your mouth, and you're like...
But she, like, literally brought... Like, the movie's super short. I don't know why or who greenlit this.
It felt longer.
But this was not
I
good.
didn't watch it, all of it, so
I don't care.
Anyway, I give it a 5.
I give it a fucking 1. I'm tired of this shit, to be honest.
I'm tired of all...
I'm tired of spending money and going to the theater and then walking out. Because it's so bad that it hurts my brain.
Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Go
See
over
ya.
here. Go over there.
Subscribe to...
Yeah. Check out our Patreon.
Do
and
that.
see you guys in the next one. Bye.
See ya.